Quite a day we had yesterday and today. Oh my god. So the problem with traveling light is don't always have backups, right? And what I mean by that is it's supposed to be a beautiful sunny day here in Oak Grove, and instead it's now changed and it's supposed to rain all day long. Problem is I didn't bring any of my rain gear. None of it. So I may have to go over to Walmart and get, I don't know, see if they have any plastic pants or something. I don't know. Not the way I wanted to wake up. I woke up this morning and I looked out the window and I'm like, that's odd. Certainly don't need these shorts and flip-flops. Clicked on the weather app and it's all rain. Now there's a chance of it all afternoon, but I see them, the hotel room I have is overlooking the racetrack, and I can see them jogging on there, and the track's already wet. So with no sun and no wind for the most part, looks like it's going to be a wet day. So I was on my way to the airport yesterday, and one of our clients, Dennis, messaged me and said, why'd they move the qualifiers at Oak Grove to Wednesday? I said, excuse me? He sent me a screenshot of the entries for the 10th. I text Eric. I said, Eric, what's going on with the qualifiers? He goes, apparently they had a lot of them and they moved them to Wednesday. A component of me coming down here was to qualify Lonely Lakewood and Lover's Place. So that is off the table now. So then I get here, get the rain. So now I'm getting a little angry. But it is what it is. I'm just going to have to push through it. And I said to Eric, they race Monday, Tuesday, so there's not going to be a lot of drivers at Oak Grove Wednesday. You're going to have to qualify Lover's Play and Lonely Lakewood. Eric's had his license forever. Very capable guy, so I'm certainly not concerned about him getting them qualified. We roughly know where all the equipment. We know where the equipment goes on Lover's Play. I was going to go with Lonely Lakewood today just to help set the gear, but it's raining and muddy, so I didn't. So not the start to Oak Grove that I wanted. Now, rewind all the way back in between on my way to the airport yesterday and here. We had some very good races. I must admit, Paycheck Princess wasn't bad. A number of clients emailed me virtually sticking up for her, and I said, she didn't race bad. Again, laughed. She was a little strong in the face. Atlee Bender was driving her, a great driver. This is a very good driver, Atlee, young guy coming up. He certainly didn't do anything wrong. Put her in the 4-hole, and the horse in the 3-hole is gapping horribly. So he goes to go around him, and of course they slam the brakes on the front end. The guy in the 3-hole catches up. So now Paycheck Princess, here's a horse. I don't want to race in the front because she's cowardly. I was surprised she raced as well as she did first over. So he collars the leader around the last turn. The horse fights back on. Paycheck Princess kind of backs up a bit. But then again at the wire, it looked like she was coming on again. So I wouldn't say an unimpressive mile from her. It wasn't. I thought it was especially for her, a pretty decent race. So mildly impressed. I'm at the airport watching this. I get to watch Spitfire race. And no, I didn't. Worst case scenario for me, I want to watch the race. We're literally taxiing out to the runway as there's 1 minute to post. And as they start to go behind the gate, the engines of the plane start revving up. Sure enough, as they say go, poof, no picture. So I had to sit there on the airplane the whole time, wondering how Spitfire did. So it wasn't a long flight. An hour and 20 minutes. I landed as we're descending and we're landing. I'm like trying to watch the thing, and sure enough, man, did he ever race good? He was screaming on the end of it. One of our clients asked, man, could you do a video and explain how horses get handicapped and how they don't? I would love to bring you that video, but the knowledge doesn't exist. So first and foremost, theoretically, the only way you handicap a horse is a layover, right? It's for the betting odds. So if a horse is going to take all the money and be big favorite, you may give them the outside. It only usually happens in an open event, right? Now, had the 9-hole last week and made a break, you would think he wouldn't be relegated to the 9-hole or the 8-hole this week, but he was. Truthfully speaking, listen, race offices and race secretaries got free reign. There's no rules to abide by for the most part. They can stretch the limits of reality however they like sometimes. You guys have seen me rant about how Mohawk has mixed races and taken our horses and put them where they don't belong, and rarely that leans to our benefit. But in most cases, I get it. Race secretaries are doing their best to fill races. Now, in this case, I would suspect winning 2 classes from the top by 10 lengths and 51-1 and breaking the track record. Not only, no race secretary wants to see a horse win by 10 lengths. They want to see even competitive fields. They try their best to make even competitive fields, and they like to see even competitive fields. They don't like to see horses run off by 10 lengths and 51. I don't blame Brett or Stacey. I don't care. It is what it is. So my take on Spitfire drawing the outside, and hopefully he doesn't next week, but he may again, I don't know, I would say is partly because he did break the track record, and partly because of how he broke the track record. I would been in this game a long time, but to call a spade, whether it's me saying it or the race secretary on the other side, it's likely a little bit of both. So we'll see how he draws next week. I don't think it would be fair for him to continue to draw the outside. He's clearly not a layover in the open. But we'll see. And again, Scioto's coming up also, so is there going to be a change there? I'm not sure and I'm certainly not taking a run at the race secretary. He seemed like a very nice gentleman every time I talked to him. So it is what it is. And we'll see what happens when Scioto opens. Now, I thought the horse raced tremendous yesterday. Brett drove him great. Got away last. And I've said this. One, he can't leave super hard, but he has been leaving well, but he always ends up getting kind of beat up, right? It takes him quite a while to get to the front, and then it's go right to the wire. And I was glad to see Brett take him back, and he drove the horse perfect. The horse raced great. Very, very happy with him. I did notice he had a little head on the post parade. Stacey said he had jumped on his foot earlier on the week, jogging or training or something. It happens. And but again, I got to see the post parade and then had to wait an hour and a half to see the race. And in that hour and a half, he sounded up perfectly. So I'm sure he'll be fine. It happens quite a bit. You see it quite a bit, but I did notice it, and it was a little concerning at the time. So he's fine. He was fine after the race. He was fine in the race, and I was very happy with him. So 2 for 2, mildly happy with Paycheck Princess's race, very happy with Spitfires. Now we're going into Mohawk. I didn't see 52-1 coming in that class for. I guess I should have. In the class for Yo Mister. I'll admit I turned it on late. He was going by the 5/8 or something, and the favorite was on the front. Bob McClure ended up winning the race with the favorite, so it wasn't like Yo Mister was a 3-5 beaten favorite. He was a very good closing third. 52-3 or 4 had to come 27 apiece. I thought he raced great. And I was super enthusiastic heading into looks like money's race. Now I'm getting emails all day from people saying, is James going to race him? Guys, come on. The horse is coming off an injury, been off forever, and is coming into his first start. Now he has qualified and then schooled, so he is getting tighter. I'm not worried about his stamina. I'm not worried about is he in shape. I know he's in shape, but you also know that James is going to protect the horse. This is our best horse for the most part right now. And James is going to protect him, and he did, and of course, Mohawk being Mohawk, the 2 favorites land down first and second. When you handicap on a 7/8 mile track that starts to start way up the stretch, it's easy for the favorites to get over the front. Handicaps don't really matter. The only way you could truly handicap a horse at Mohawk would be given the trailing position. So the 2 favorites leave, sit 1-2. James gets away, whatever, 5th or 6th. Not a human moves until the head of the lane. Not even an inch. Not even for Mohawk. You don't see that very often. But no one moves, and James scoots by everybody to be third. A hell of a third. Now, I watched the last quarter pop up 26-4, and I'm thinking to myself, if they come 26-4. Now, I don't know if there was a tailwind. I haven't talked to James or Harry or anybody. Only talked to the caretaker this morning in passing to say, hey, this looks like money good this morning. His leg good. She said he's perfect. He laid down to get up. He ate. His leg looks great. Everything is great. Thank God. Good. Because it's always in the back of your mind. But I'm thinking, that was a hell of a last quarter. Had to be 26-1. 26? Nope. No, it wasn't. 25-4. First start in months off the shelf, and he comes 25-4 on the end of it. My God Almighty! What kind of a good horse is looks like money? That is hard to believe. Even with a tornado and a pack of wolves behind him, 25-4. That is some kind of last quarter. So a great job by James for protecting him. It's and again, it's a unique situation. So absolutely, James protect him, and you know what? He'll probably protect him a little bit next week too. It's not like we have a ton of stakes for Looks Like Money. We've been kind of gentle with him this year staking. We do plan on potentially racing him in the Earl Row, but that's not a necessity. He will race in the Canadian Trotting Classic, and then we have the option to race him in the Charlie Hill. The only reason I say the Charlie Hill is because we'll probably shut him down for a little bit after that. Just a short time, turn him out, bring him back, and look to race him in the winter time. We got big plans for this horse. Remember, trotters aren't like pacers. And, you see a lot of our horses, whether it be White Tiger or any of our older horses at Kings County, who I'm going to drive today. These horses have shown their best miles at 6, at 7. So lots of racing ahead for Looks Like Money, and I think managing them wisely, easily, and quietly for the year of 2024. And having said that, he still races in the Open every week. Could easily be one of the best horses in Canada all year long. There's lots of money for him to race for every single week. So, although it wasn't a financial windfall yesterday, the fifth didn't net us much, 3/3. We're not buying a yacht on that, but at the same token, I would think all 4 horses raced very good. And none of the 4 horses certainly below my radar of expectation, what I expected, what I wanted to see. And quite frankly, the latter 3, well above what I'd like to see. So very happy there. We have a number of horses today. I'm about to do an interview. They were asking about Standardbred Canada. Trot Magazine was asking, Dan Fisher was asking me about one horse that stuck out. I'm going to talk to a bunch of trainers, a bunch of horseman people about. They said, well, we never won the Hamiltonian, the Breeders' Crown, and we have a number of really cool stories. And one of them is 3 Point Blue Chip, right? How he was purchased, how he raced, what he meant for the stable, that huge turning point. If you look back, we had a number of horses that put us on the map. But I think there's a few that were around when we really turned the corner, and one of those horses was 3 Point Blue Chip. He's racing here today. I was supposed to drive him. We still have a piece of him. We own a third of him almost, the stable still, with Blue Chip Farms. And many of you know how that came about. We're racing against him with Brace for Landing today, and I got... although 3 Point Blue Chip played a major role in us being who we are and what we are, I still also have a soft spot for Brace. Now, I could have driven either horse, but I obviously feel a little more obligated to drive Brace for Landing. So I am going to drive Brace for Landing against 3 Point Blue Chip today, and we'll see how that plays out. Obviously, 3 Point Blue Chip's 2024 season has not started the way we wanted. He was staked extremely heavily at the start, and they've since backed off with his staking for the latter part of 2024. Interested to see how this all plays out, the storyline there with 3 Point Blue Chip. It'd be nice to see him in person, up close. I haven't seen him in a year or two up close. So that will be interesting to see. And then obviously excited about Kings County today. I think he's coming in sharp. How's he going to do in the mud? I don't know. The one thing about this track, I always hate racing in the rain and the mud. You know that. But this track was very loose last week, and this rain may actually go a little, I don't say a long ways, but a little ways to tightening it up. So I'm interested to see how 3 Point Blue Chip is going to race today. Want to get another flat line and some more confidence in a Militant. I was happy with what I saw last week. Green Tea, definitely want to get a flat line with him also. So who do we have? We have Brace. Eager to race Brace. I want to see what went on last week. I don't know where those wrinkles came from. In my mind, my thought process is he tied up a little bit on the truck ride down, and that's that little... Those were those little wrinkles we saw in his gait last week. I want to see how they look today. Now, it's not the same. The track is muddy. It's obviously not the same. A little bit, I guess, yeah, as it was last week. So I want to get a feel for him. I want to get a look at 3 Point just to say hello and see how he looks. And then, as I said, Militant, Green Tea, stay trotting, build their confidence. And hey, if we could win a race, that'd be great. And then, obviously, Kings County is on my radar today. So with that, I'm going to let you go. A lot going on for me over the last 2 days. Not all of it good, but endeavor to get through the week, get our week started. Just a great start to the week so far, and that's on top of a great week we had last week. So eager and excited to get all the sophomores going. I see the Phillies are entered in to go already on Thursday in the Meadows. The Colt will be Friday. The Colt being Vaquero Blue Chip. He'll be going to there Friday, and then Saturday, the long-awaited return of Time Is On My Side, Saturday afternoon. So with that, I'll let you guys go. I hope you had a better start to your day than I did, but it's almost time for racing. Take care.